Hi, this is Gerard from Benchtop Espresso, and I'm here at Unknown Coffee to give you a rundown of the Makiba Aizaga grinder. Now, if you haven't already watched our video about why you should choose the Makiba for your cafe, click on the link below and watch that video as well. Now we're going to go into a deep dive into the grinder and run you over through the best practice operation and the menu on this grinder. So this is the main menu of the Makiba, and here you get to control how the grinder is operating, whether it's grind on demand or pre-grind feature, and also get to adjust the dose of the single and the double shots for your cafe. Now this grinder is a timed grinder, so any adjustment to the grinding is done on dose button, and it's adjustment to time, not dose. I'll show you how that operates. To begin with, we'll start with the single dose. Press and hold the button, which brings you into the button of shot of grinding time. By hitting the plus or minus, you change that time, and we find that every click can change the dose by approximately half a gram. To get out of the menu, you just click the button again. Now the reason we recommend starting with the single is because the double button can only ever go to an amount twice of that of the single. If your single dose is set to 3 seconds, your double dose will only ever go up to 6 seconds. So we recommend you start with single and set it a bit higher than what you'd expect the double to be. That gives you a bit of room to maneuver if you need to make any adjustments during the day. Now, as we mentioned, this grinder has two features. Your standard grind on demand, where the grinder only grinds when you insert the group handle into the grinder, and then the innovative pre-grind function, where the grinder pre-grinds a dose, hold that in this chamber here, and the dose is ready as soon as you insert the group handle into the grinder. To change between those two doses, you can use the plus and minus buttons here. Press and hold the minus, and you go into the grind on demand function. Press and hold the plus, and you go into the pre-grind function. So at this situation, we already have a dose here from the pre-grind, and when I insert the group handle, the dose is already there. Now my grinder is set on grind on demand, and so if I want the grinder to operate, I need to insert my group handle, and only then the grinder is working. Now one question we often get is how quick does a Makiba grinds a double shot? Now you're looking at around 6 to 7 seconds for a double shot to be grounded by the Makiba, but in reality, what does it matter? If you're using the pre-grind function, the shot is there instantaneously. This is a quick rundown of the main features on this screen for the Makiba Aizaga. A few little notes and recommendations. As mentioned, set your single dose first, because your double dose will depend on what you set the single to. Having said that, you don't have to have the single exactly half of the double. In fact, I have found that you can set your single to whatever dose you choose. As long as it's larger than half the time of the double, you'll get the same incredible consistency. If you'd like your single shots to be 14 grams and your double 20 grams, you can do it with the Makiba without any problem to consistency. Now, we recommend slow cafes and cafes that do low volume and have long waiting time between coffees to use the standard grind on demand. That would keep the coffee fresher, and you won't have a lot of coffee sitting in the chamber for a very long period of times. For busy cafes and cafes that pump coffees on a regular basis, definitely use the pre-grind. In fact, because the chamber is sealed, there's not much exposure to air, we don't find that there's a significant degradation in quality of coffee, even if it sits in the chamber for 20 minutes to half an hour. The shots still come out as consistent as shots grind just before pulling the shot. Next, we're going to look at how to adjust the grind setting for the Makiba. Now this is a stepped grinder. when you want to make an adjustment, you'll have to press one of those buttons. That saves the barista from making an unnecessary or adjustment by mistake. As you can see, without pressing a button, there's no change to the grinding I can make. If you want to go coarser, the very intuitive and simple to see symbol here with large particles of coffee on it tells me which direction I need to go. By pressing it, I'll then make an adjustment as you can hear the click and release. Now I'm just going to show you some best practices and how we find it's best to dial in and use this Markie Bar during the day. To begin with, you want to set your ideal grind and shot. Obviously your shot is dependent on the cafe that you're working in and the coffee that you're using, and your cafe or coffee roaster should recommend the most appropriate dose to use. Simply use the buttons here to adjust the shot time, the grinding time, until you're getting the desired dose. Next, we want to adjust the grind setting. There's no way to do it without pulling a shot and seeing how long the shot runs for. What we recommend is that you allow half a gram tolerance. What we recommend is that you allow about half a gram tolerance for your desired dose and allow shot times to be between 25 to 34 seconds for the optimal shots. That range would allow you to make very little changes during the day and would not impact the flavor in any noticeable way. The reason we recommend 25 to 34 seconds for shot times is because we have noticed increased cases of channeling for shots that ran faster than 25 or slower than 34, and that range really produced the optimal extraction and optimal flavor across the board. If you want to adjust the flavor of your shot, we recommend that you use the temperature on your coffee machine rather than shot time to make those micro adjustments to flavor. When coming to make an adjustment on the Markie Bar, it's always recommended that you use a scale to confirm your dose before making an adjustment and after making an adjustment. A simple scale like that can save you hours of going back and forth. Make sure that your dose is right first before you're making any adjustment to your grind setting. Another important thing to keep in mind with the Markie Bar is that it requires no distribution. That makes it very fast and simple to use it. It also reduces inconsistency between baristas. We have tested a wide variety of distribution techniques, from tapping to shaking, down tapping, distribution tools, and even WDT and stirring the grinds. None of them have improved the consistency and extraction of the shots, and most of them actually made it worse. So just allow the Markie Bar to do what it does best. Insert and pull the shot, and that's it. So this is what each Markie Bar comes with. The Markie Bar has a 64mm flat burr grind set. Those are long life grind set, so they shouldn't be needed to change more than once every 6 months to a year, depending on your usage. You also get a special cleaning kit dedicated for the Markie Bar and for the grind chamber. Allen keys to open the Markie Bar and give it a thorough clean if you need to, and a universal cradle, which can be replaced for a dedicated La Marzocco cradle that can also hold your canoe in place. Okay, for your daily cleaning of the Markie Bar, one of the most important things is to make sure that you clean the grinding chamber. To get to the grinding chamber, simply lift the rubber seal. Make sure that there's no shots left over in the grinding chamber, and insert the dedicated brush into the grinding chamber. Simply push it down and pull it down from the bottom. You can repeat that a couple of times just to make sure that the grinding chamber is nice and clean. Next, you have to make sure that this hopper gets wiped every day. It's very easy to lock in the grinds. Open the hopper by releasing the black stopper and a dedicated screw at the back, and lift the hopper up. So it's very important not to wash the hopper because some metal parts in it can rust. So just use a dry, clean cloth and wipe it up daily. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Gaurav from Benchtop Espresso here at Unknown Coffee. And if you have any more questions about where you could purchase the Maki Bar, simply click on the link below for Unknown Coffee website. Thank you and have a nice day.